mom ever wondered, how do you still maintain your relationship and have a baby? Have you ever wondered, how am I going to be able to manage like taking care of this whole new life and still cater to my partner? I know I did. I know a lot of other mothers have. Hi, I'm Eunice Version. I'm a licensed clinical social worker with HBC. And today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic that I think is super important: transitioning into parenthood and maintaining healthy communication in your relationship with your partner. So, according to the Gottman Institute, 67% of new parents in relationships with their partner experienced a rapid decline in relationship satisfaction. 67%. That's crazy, right? I think it is. It has come to the awareness of researchers and folks who study, relationships and parenthood, that a lot of new parents are just feeling very overwhelmed and are having a hard time transitioning into their new role. Also, the stressors that life brings. So one of the specific reasons why relationships tend to dwindle after having children is because couples are feeling overwhelmed with external factors, not necessarily like what's happening in the home. What's happening in the home is stressful, but the additional stress, the stress outside of home. So external stressors is what we call them. And according to this study with the Gottman Institute, it can be like being stuck in traffic, commuting, demanding boss. It could also be, work dissatisfaction, just not being happy where you're working at. All of those different factors attribute to feeling burnt out and stressed out, and then adding the component of being a new parent can add to that. So, what could be some healthy ways that new parents in relationships with their partners can learn to implement healthy communication? Well, I have some really, really good tips for you that I will be sharing with you today. So, in order to increase intimacy and kind of keep that relationship strong with your partner while you're taking care of a newborn or a new infant, a child under the age of 3, because usually it's the first 3 years after having a child where the relationship really takes a toll, you have to really learn to be each other's friend. Friendship is going to be key in kind of maintaining the romantic aspect of the relationship still afloat. Studies have shown that when couples can turn to relying on each other as friends foremost, then lovers, there tends to be healthier outcomes, I should say. So maybe you're wondering, so what are some of these tips? What are some of these, communication skills that we can implement as a new mom with my partner, and vice versa? Your partner can also implement this with you. And what the Gottman Institute also recommends is that couples can engage in what is called a stress-reducing conversation daily. The only caveat to this is that you do not talk about the relationship pertaining to you and your partner. You only address the external factors that are causing you to feel stressed out, burnt out, and you use this time with your partner as a time to just decompress, and one person has to be the listener and the other one the talker, the person who's talking, and then you can switch. And when you're engaging in the stress reducing conversation, it can be anywhere from 5 to approximately 30 minutes is a recommendation. And when you're partaking in the stress reducing conversation, you're allowing your partner to just vent without judgment, without critiquing or offering help right away. And how you're going to do that is by following these next 7 suggestions. So, according to the researchers, the best way to go about it is by implementing the following. The first one, which I think is really, really important, it's show genuine interest. They suggested, and I suggest too, put your phone down. Your phone should not be near you. All electronic devices should be shut down. TV, radio. Give your partner your undivided attention. I am a firm believer that active listening, especially as a therapist with my patients, it does wonders. It's half of the battle really in gaining client trust is, do they even care? Does that person even care? So same thing with your partner. You have to give your undivided attention. Make eye contact. Look at them directly in their eyes. Nod. Say, okay, these are all affirming behaviors and words that allow your partner to open up, to feel that he or she is going to be heard. The second suggestion is communicate understanding verbally. Say, oh, I can see how that bothered you. Or, wow, that really seems to be upsetting you, doesn't it? In order to communicate understanding, your partner has to feel that it's genuine. So don't say something if you don't mean it. The third thing is offer support, but first ask, like, how can I support you in this? Or I'm sorry that your boss was such a rude person today, or that he was just not being nice. I wish I could have been there to giving you a hug, to give you a hug, you know? So offer support, but let it be genuine. Number 4, I love this one. Create solidarity. Let your partner know that you're on their team. Don't judge or say, but you should have done this. Like, this is not the time. This is the opportunity for your partner to just feel seen and heard and validated. The next one is show similarities. If it's appropriate, share a situation that, you feel is relatable. It could be really quick. You're trying to just gain, their undivided attention, and you want them to feel like they're being heard, and vice versa. Create solidarity. Let them know that you're on their team. This is not the time to offer critique or, hun, you could have done this, or why didn't you say that? This is not the time for that. Create solidarity and just let them be heard. Let them be able to express what's really, truly bothering them. Number 5 is show similarities. Maybe you briefly describe a situation that you experience that is similar to theirs. So there is that sense of like, my partner understands me. She understands me, The next one I think is super important. Show affection. Maybe if you're sitting next to each other, you grab their hand. Maybe you soothe their shoulder. Or maybe, you offer a hug or a forehead kiss or a caress. Affection, physical affection, is really important in creating bonds with your partner in a non-sexual way. Intimacy, which sometimes when you have a new child, you really lose that because all of your attention, all of your affection is going to your kid, rightfully so, right? Babies thrive with love and affection, but so do we. Help them process. Help them make sense of what they're feeling by listening, active listening, engaging them, asking follow-up questions, open-ended questions. Instead of saying, are you mad? Yes, no. Say, how are you feeling about this? Is this angering you? If so, how come? Open-ended questions are a great way to get to more deeper feelings. So with these 7 tips and implementing a stress-reducing conversation with your partner, I think that it will solidify your union and your commitment to one another, especially as you navigate parenthood. Because as I know as a mother, parenthood could be a very challenging time for relationships, but it doesn't have to be. You can journey on to parenthood and build a stronger relationship. And that's the goal. So communication is extremely important. And I hope that these tips that I shared with you are helpful to you.